What's good, beautiful people? I'm the Black Thumb, and this is my man,
Ayati.
And welcome to New to the Game podcast, the podcast for the casual NBA fan.
Now, the casual NBA fan is a person that's more focused on the culture, the music, the fashion, the drama. And today, what are we talking about?
So, in the spirit of Robbin season, you've had a very close encounter of this particular motif. We've talked a lot about, or that topic has come up a lot in the past couple of episodes that we've done. Yeah. So, if you haven't watched those episodes, make sure you check those out because that will definitely give you some context for what we're going to discuss today. Yeah. But in the spirit of Robbin season, I thought we'd talk a little bit about Ryan Rollins, who was in the news recently for a handful of incidents, shoplifting at Target. Now, for those of you that don't know who Ryan Rollins is,
we don't know who. Don't know who Robbin Ryan is. Don't know Robbin Ryan at all. I'm gonna tell you right now. So just inform the people who Robbin Ryan is.
Robbin Ryan. All right, so Ryan Rollins is a former NBA player because he was cut by his current team.
So he's just Robbin Rollins now. He ain't even an NBA player no more. God damn, bro.
Yeah. So Ryan Rollins is originally from Detroit, Michigan. Was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. Ended up going to Toledo. Had some success at Toledo. I think they won like a MAC, their conference season championship, or a season champion, meaning they had the best conference record for the regular season. And ended up, he was like their leading scorer one of those years, I believe. And he ended up coming out into the draft. He got drafted in the second round. I want to say it was 44th overall or so like that. He was drafted by the Golden State Warriors for the 2022-2023 season. And then he was also traded from the Warriors because he was on the main team, but he played more so in their G League affiliate or their minor league affiliate. But he was involved in the Jordan Poole, Chris Paul deal, and so that's how he ended up with the Washington Wizards. Damn. He, was pretty much bouncing between the main team or the NBA team and the G League team. And so this is another important point because this is kind of the whole point of this episode is that Ryan Rollins, when he was drafted by the Golden State Warriors, he signed a 4-year, $4.7 million contract. And I believe all of that was guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken. Damn. And so that's Ryan Rollins in a nutshell. The question I have for you...
1.2 a year.
Or so. And he was scheduled to make $1.7 million this year. That was already guaranteed. And then he does this. Or this pops up. Because he was stealing from Target between September and I want to say November, December of last year. And it just came to light in January. So, with all of that backdrop for the audience, for you, Ayati... What are your thoughts on Rollins having 7 different theft encounters at Target where he is stealing items like body wash, pet toys, candles, produce, those types of things?
I mean, is he on the streets? That's the items that our population over here in LA are heavily stealing. Like, I don't know if y'all from LA, from Long Beach, California, San Francisco, Oakland, West Coast. When you go to a CVS or a Walgreens, all your basic necessities is behind a fucking piece of plastic. If you need deodorant, you gotta push that little buzzer like, beep, beep, come help me. So this shit is what people are stealing because they need that shit.
Yeah, these are essentials.
These are essentials that's getting stolen. For the fact he got caught stealing essentials, I'm like, well, damn, is they on the streets? Like, boy, brother, your salary is $1.2 million a year. Even after taxes, you taking home more than most doctors and shit. So I don't know what the fuck you spending your money on. Got you out here stealing essentials. I was like, bruh, when I read it, I could not believe that shit when I saw it. So I'm like, what gets you to this place? So, like, I'm thinking, like, is it childhood? Like, was he a stealing ass little kid? Like, he from Detroit. Now I know he from Detroit, he probably just stealing shit. And he never broke that habit.
We can't make blanket statements about Detroit as a city because my man's is from Detroit doing dumb shit in DC. Come on, man, we can't. This is a oh come on cat moment. That's what just happened. Oh come on cat.
All right. I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to figure out why he just stealing shit. Was he bored? Like he ain't like on a winning team. Let's be real. It's the Wizards. They right above Detroit. As far
that
as
is
the
fair
concerned.
by like 2 games.
So maybe he's so used to being like the center of attention and winning. And if you losing, you need to feel like you got a victory. So he was at Target stealing shit. Was like, oh, I'm winning. Like I don't know. Like first I was just shocked. I'm gonna share another aspect later. Well, I'm gonna let you go ahead and chime in a little bit on this first before I go into my next story.
Yeah, so I'm with you. Like I was shocked, but not at the same time for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I think sometimes these things can happen by accident, right? So one of my theories, we talked a little bit about this offline. One of my theories is maybe he did, because this is like he hit the same target every, like he didn't spread the wealth around. Like he went to the same target, my guy. So now I'm like, what's going on at that target? That like he felt so comfortable that he could do this over and over and over and over
if it
again.
Ain't broke,
don't fix
it. You ride that motherfucker till the wheels fall off. You figure out that this is the one, this is the weak target. I will ride this target.
So my theory is so I think like there might have been one time, right?
Yeah.
Where he went in there, did his honest to goodness stuff, whatever, went in there, picked out his items, went through the self-checkout or some shit, and like low-key just grabbed, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when you have a bunch of shit, like, some things slip through the cracks, and then you get on the outside, and you're like, oh shit, like I got out. Like, and didn't nothing go off, like, oh man.
But it could have been like,
and then he was like, oh, maybe I can really, really do this.
But like, could you at least scan the body wash and then steal something bigger? Like, I'm like, fuck that. Still like a little video game or a fucking Lego set or some shit.
Well, the video,
slide this body wash for $250. I'm gonna put this motherfucker in the basket.
But
like,
the video games is locked up, bro. For
You're
that
right,
exact
reason.
You gotta get assisted with those. Like you like they walking you to the register. You feel me? They're like, yo, no, let me escort you. I got you. Yeah. They on the microphone and shit. Like yep. The package is coming to the it's coming up. Yep, we got it. Bruh, like they be serious about them electronics. They don't fuck around about them electronics.
Especially if they locking up the baths and shit at Walgreens.
Yes,
CVS. So
yes, bruh.
Of course they locking up some video games and diapers and
all
Infamil and all that shit.
That's how you know. That's how you know what's really important in life. You go into your local neighborhood grocery store, essential store, and whatever is locked up are the most important things in life.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. Because
they appeal to everybody. Everybody needs that shit on some level.
Well, my bad. I caught you off.
No. You all good. But no. So I think that he might have got away with one early, kind of accidentally, like being honest, and then realized like, oh, like they was in there slipping. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try it again, and then I'm gonna go again, and he just kept coming back for more. And it became like a almost like a dopamine type thing, because he was getting this like, ooh, I'm smarter than them. I'm better than them.
He was deprived of.
He was deprived. Yes, he was getting them wins that he was deprived of on the Wizards, and being a bench player on the Wizards. There's like, it's one thing to be a bench player on a championship contending team, where you have a Giannis and a Dame and you have a LeBron and an AD, and you have like, real player, like I won't say real players, I'll say elite level players. It's another thing to be a bench player on the second worst team in the league, because if you're not getting floor time on the second worst team in the league, is telling us a little bit about where your game is. And so I think what was shocking to me was that he took this risk so early in his career. And we talked about this in the John Moran episode about the young mentality versus the veteran mentality, and how he's thinking about himself right now. He's not thinking about what this is going to do potentially to his career 5 or 6 years down the road. Like, he hasn't even established himself. Like, he's not even a regular rotation guy. Like, he's not regularly suiting up for an NBA level team. So the fact that he did this was shocking in that regard, because he has probably blown his opportunity to make more money in the future playing basketball in the NBA. Maybe he'll be able to go overseas and kind of reclimate in some way. So I thought that was super interesting. But the other thing that I thought might have been a little bit interesting too is, I think the basketball culture, and in particular the AAU culture, and this sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
So do you think that played or could have played a potential role in this?
I feel like, all jokes aside, something was going on for someone to be stealing petty shit that you don't need and you could pay for, and you just taking it. So yes, that sense of entitlement, or like, I'm an NBA player, and he probably been like groomed to be a certain like mentality. It's mine, I should be able to take it. And let's be real, that's kind of the American culture. Just, I'm gonna just take shit. Like, the cowboy would take the frontier kind of mentalities, celebrate it. So if this guy walking around like that, he can't do it on the court, because he definitely ain't taking them wins. So he probably going to Target and trying to get that feel. And like, it could also be like, I when I said like, hey, maybe this was his childhood, maybe he was a straight up klepto. Like, I've met people that just can't help but steal shit.
That's fair.
And they just steal shit, random shit. They don't even need it, just taking shit for the thrill of it. And it's like, maybe that's what he just never could shake, and like, he never could break it. Not giving them no sympathy. And I'm also just not trying to make Target seem like a victim, because I mean, Target is a big ass $1 million corporation. That shit,
billion probably.
I don't even see why this shit came up on the radar. Other than him being a big ass Target. Like, I'm sure there's a reason why CVS and all these other stores, their answer to theft is putting up plastic. They ain't prosecuting these motherfuckers. Most of them are probably on the street, or they bums and they ain't got addresses. So if you send out a warrant, or you even put the face out, nobody gives a fuck. But they just happen to be in loss prevention this time. I was like, this motherfucker playing the NBA. We got this one. Like, of course, I think that's the only reason they threw it out there. Like, hey, let's reel this big fish in. And I'm assuming they probably thought it was a big PR thing for them. Like, now Target to be out in the media for a bit. Like, oh, Target caught an NBA player. All news is good news. Bad or good. It's just gonna it's good publicity. So I don't understand why they really prosecuted it, but I also can't understand why the hell he did this. Like, I don't get it. So, but I like to chime in on the being young and doing dumb shit part.
Yeah,
so,
because we've all been there, right?
Let me share this story for you real quick.
Okay. Are we both gonna share a story?
Yeah, we gonna share
of some young dumb shit.
Some young dumb shit.
Okay, so let's do it.
I hate when like the pot caught a kettle, black. Mm-hmm. So I can't just be out here just condemning a motherfucker. All the little proverbs and all the stories. Don't throw the first stone unless you see sinless. All right, so let me tell you about some young dumb shit that I did in college. Okay, so when I first got to UC Irvine, this campus is big as fuck. I'm from Compton, and I ain't gotta walk far to really do shit. I'm in what they call Mesa Court, and I'm in an engineering. I'm in an engineering school, which is about a mile, 1.3 of a walk in the morning to get to class. Shit far as fuck. Take me like 20 minutes to walk that motherfucker. Class started like 8 o'clock in the morning. First time I went to that class, I was like, ooh, I ain't gonna make this shit every time. Getting here at 7:30? Y'all crazy. Walking this shit? And I ain't got no bike. I got a skateboard, but I'm still kind of like, ugh. It's a lot of hills and shit with Irvine. I'm like, it's a lot of curves. I'm not trying to get fucked up on the way to class. Mm-mm. But Irvine, this is Orange County. These motherfuckers is real trustworthy and friendly. So one day I was like, man, I ain't about to walk to class. Everybody leave their bikes unlocked and shit. I rode one of the motherfucking bikes to class. Just grab that bitch, rode that shit to class, and rode that motherfucker right back to the little lockup. And was like, damn, okay. Got away with that shit. I was like, fuck. I didn't steal the bike. I didn't really need the bike. I was just borrowing that motherfucker. I borrowed that motherfucking bike.
You didn't rent it. You borrowed it.
I borrowed that shit. Put that shit right back where I found it. No harm, no foul. No victim. It's a victimless crime.
The kid who walked out and was like, what the fuck, my bike is gone, and then came back at the end of the day and was like, what the fuck, my bike is back. Like, they probably was losing it. Like, no way. Who was this, Robin Hood? Like,
so this shit get even worse. So I'm like, fuck, okay, I can't just keep taking the same motherfucking bike. I came back another time, that bike was locked up now. Motherfucker's like, oh shit, I gotta lock my shit up.
You put him on alert.
Yeah, so I had to like, you know,
it was rotating.
keep them on their toes. So what I do, instead of even bringing the bike back, I just leave your shit in another location. And everybody was so friendly, so I rode my bike, left your bike at engineering, grabbed another bike, and rode that bitch back to the dorms. So I always had these bikes in rotation and shit. So essentially, I started like the first bike share program because I wasn't like stealing. I wasn't keeping these motherfuckers. I just need to borrow your shit. Like I'm not a thief. I don't want to take your shit. I really like bikes. I'm a skater, but I don't want to walk. And I wasn't gonna walk. But that's some of the young dumb shit I did. This is my freshman fucking year of college. I'm fucking 18. Like the fuck, a bike is over $500. If I got caught this shit, it'd have been a fucking felony. They're like, look at this criminal. Like motherfucker, no, I'm just wanting to walk. So I don't know what was going through Robbin Ryan's mind. But I get it. Sometimes we do young, dumb shit. 100%. So that's why I said, like, I'm calling this shit stupid because I know for a fact this shit is stupid. I'm speaking from fucking experience. It ain't me just, I'm going to be over here and be the moral fucking gatekeeper as you used the last time on the last episode. I'm not a moral gatekeeper. Yeah. I'm not a moral gatekeeper, but I'm speaking from old man experience. Like, look, motherfucker, that shit's stupid as fuck. I wasn't putting my like $1 million bag on the line. Motherfucker, I'd pay somebody to do anything I needed to do if I had the money. But I couldn't pay motherfuckers to get me to class. I had to borrow this bike, drop that bitch off, and get it back. And thank God I ain't never got caught. I don't know if it's a statute of limitation on that shit, but I didn't keep it in shit, so I didn't do no real crime in my mind. I just was shuffling shit around. Them bikes were still probably at UC Irvine now. They go look for the motherfuckers like, oh, this shit was over here. That's all I was doing. So, hey, I throw that out there as a piece of sometimes we just do dumb shit.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But they have higher stake consequences for these guys. I feel like you can't be doing dumb shit now. You literally lost. Let's say you kept getting the minimum contract for the next 5 years. Every 4 years they gave you another 1.2. He lost millions for stealing some fucking body wash at Target.
Yeah, and the potential to make tens of millions because again we don't know. Like, yeah, he's a second round pick, but so was Draymond Green, so was Nikola Jokic. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's so many second round picks that end up becoming generational players or pivotal players on championship teams or championship dynasties, and so he could. We know for a fact that if he would have kept his nose clean and just been professional, that he would have gotten that minimum. But there's a chance on the high side that he could have earned at a much, much higher level in the tens to maybe hundreds of millions, depending on what, how hard he would work and where, if, and assuming he found the right situation where he could really display his talent. So that, yeah, I agree. And in the spirit of, young and dumb shit, like, here's my story.
Story time.
So
I hope statute of limitations is off on all these stories.
Oh yeah, for real. Well, I don't think. Well, maybe I broke a law. There's a chance.
Now you're breaking laws.
There's a chance. So for those of you that don't know, I went to school in New Orleans, had the time of my life, and while I was in undergrad, I didn't party and do all of those things quite as much because I was like playing tennis, going to class, But I ended up staying, after I graduated, I stayed in New Orleans a couple of years, and that last year in New Orleans was a wild ride. Okay. It was like UC Irvine. It was like our time at UC Irvine, but for the whole year. It was a mess. I was a dumpster fire, but it was so fun. It was so fun. Anyway, so typically, it would be myself, and it would be one of my homeboys, Zach, and there was our guy, Hassan. He was from the UK.
Oh, so he one of the UK ones.
Exactly. So
had the accent, like,
had the accent, yeah.
Brother.
So we was in there, bro. So everywhere we went, we were catching wins because Zach was super charismatic. I was kind of coming into my own at that point and kind of like I was figuring some things out about myself. And Hassan knew he had the mouthpiece because he didn't even have to say shit. All he had to do was talk, and motherfuckers was gonna be like, oh, deer caught in the headlights. Yeah, whatever you want. And so typically we would start our nights. We would go to this Mediterranean restaurant called Mona's in New Orleans on South Carrollton Avenue. Great place, great food, but what the cool thing was, it was BYOB, so we could bring your own. You could bring your own alcohol, and they do hookah. So it was like the perfect pregame spot for us. So we would go. There was literally a Rite Aid right across the street. We go get a 30-pack of beer. Come back. We play drinking games while
Natty
we get
Ice?
Yeah, Natty Ice, exactly. You already know. Everybody knows.
That's the only 30-pack ever known.
The only 30-pack for $20.99. You feel me? Like which says everything you need to know about what's happening with this night, right? So we go back. We play drinking games, and we finish about half of it between the 3 or 4 of us. And then we were like, yo, what y'all want to get into? And so we ended up going down. We were like, you know what, let's go by the river. I was like, all right, cool. So we ended up going down by the Mississippi, and we found like this little hole in the fence. And so it said clearly, no trespassing. Anyone who trespasses will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Like, so we knew what we were signing up for.
Okay.
We climb through the hole. We go and sit down on the, like, there's like a little dock, and we're just like watching the river go by. We're drinking beers. We're having like a cool ass bro moment. And out of nowhere, we see a flashlight behind us, and motherfuckers was like, "Fuck!" Like this is it. We're going to jail tonight. Like we're gonna have to call Coach Green, and Coach Green gonna have to bail us out. And at that point, like I was an assistant coach. I was a grad assistant at that point. So like, and I was 23 going into 24.
Young and dumb.
So I'm older than Robbin Ryan at this point in my life. Okay, folks. So let it be known. So we immediately get up. We start walking back, and we're just like, fuck. We know this is the cops. We about to get got. And Hassan was like, nobody say shit. Let me do all the talking. And I don't know, but in that moment, I was like, you know what? We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. That UK voice, we're going to be fine. And sure enough, we didn't run into a cop. We actually ran into a parolee that was recently released from prison. His name was Hassan, so we were able to make that connection. And we shared a couple beers with him. And one of Zach's friends was there with us, and he was like, yo, like, what's going on with all these barges, da-da-da-da. He was like, oh, man, ain't shit in there. Like, it ain't nothing but, like, corn and all this other stuff. So then you know what we decided to do? We decided we're going to go on the barge, which is, like, floating in the river. It's not, like, all the way in the river, but it's kind of floating a little bit in the river, and we had to climb a little rope, like, Pirates of the Caribbean style, you know what I'm saying? You got to do that shit, you know what I mean? To get across, and you know my black ass can't swim. Like, what the fuck? But my ass went across this rope, bruh. Climbed up this barge.
This is such a southern story.
It's
a barge.
This is what
Mississippi in the story. There's a Mississippi in a barge. A lot of us can't relate to this. We're like, what is going on here? A barge. You have to go ahead and Google what a barge is, folks,
and so
you know what that is.
So we're on a ledge. We're on a ledge about a foot wide, bruh. Okay, we're at the top of the barge, and my boy Zach and his homeboy decide they want to go in the barge. So they go inside the barge, and me and Hassan was like, nah, fuck that. The two people of color was like, this is where we draw the line. Okay, all right, white man, go for it. Go forth and conquer. You can have it.
This is where all the
we're gonna stay out here and keep watch. Make sure that another motherfucker don't show up. Ain't that fucked up? Like, hell no. Ain't about to Blair Witch Project my ass in this motherfucker. Not tonight.
We already came across one parolee.
Yeah.
We came across a parolee. Next thing we gonna come across is a hack murderer.
Yeah. No, you ain't about to get me caught up like that. Not tonight. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night, but not tonight. So anyway, the moral of the story was everybody ended up being okay. It was fine. It worked out. I dodged a bullet in that regard, but it is a feather in my cap of one of many of the dumb things that I have done as a youngin. And so to bring it all the way back to Robbin Ryan, I think there is an element of him just being young, and we know scientifically that men and boys develop at a much slower rate than our female counterparts. Mm-hmm. And especially in our frontal lobe area, which really impacts our primary decision making. And so we make bad decisions. Not to say that we shouldn't be held accountable for those actions, because we absolutely should, because hopefully that will deter us from not making those same decisions in the future. But I think if we're all really honest about this and we really kind of think back on our past and some of the things that we have done, and if social media was more prevalent, if more people had phones with cameras, how much stuff would we have, not and have gotten away with? How many of those bullets would we actually have dodged? And so I think that's another aspect of it. But you touched on, to transition really, really quickly, you touched on this idea of the PR aspect with Target, and Target, trying to maybe use this as an opportunity to be in the news, maybe even potentially, trying to be seen as a victim in some regard. Talk a little bit more about that.
Because, this is where you get all, philosophical and deep with the shit. At the end of the day, what is real ownership? You know what I'm saying? Ownership is just the right to tell someone they can't take some shit, or having the right to take some shit, in my mind. That's what ownership is. It's just some shit we agree upon, some shit we wrote down. So in the grand scheme of shit, he took some goddamn body wash. It ain't like he was out here masterminding some shit. He had a whole fucking entourage of people that was hitting up different fucking Targets, and they were packaging it and reselling it and shit like that. I don't think he was that guy. Based on his standing on the team, he wasn't the brains of the shit. If LeBron got caught stealing shit, I would look a little deeper in this shit. Who's his team? Who's his team of thieves that LeBron got? He's a leader of some shit, of some sort.
He's an Ocean's 11 type.
Yeah, he's fucking George Clooney in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? He's stealing shit.
He's heist material.
But literally, it's some petty shit that unfortunately is getting not necessarily blown out of proportion, but let's go back to the theme of this episode. It's robbing season. A lot of shit's getting robbed and stole right now. So you think, as an organization, Target, even the NBA, by punishing a multi-million-dollar guy for stealing some basic shit, is going to stop all these other people who really need it from taking the shit? Nah, this ain't. We're trying to solve symptoms instead of getting down to the real core of the shit. Because there's a real problem when you got people who actually need shit stealing shit, and then you got people who don't need shit stealing shit. The common thread is motherfuckers are stealing shit. Why do people have a need or a feel to steal shit? And Target is not the victim here. I know that they probably doing some shit that if it came to the light of what's really going on, we'd probably be like, ugh, ew, what is going on here? So I think it's honestly, he's just getting kind of, unfortunately, he's the big fish that if they caught this guy, it's going to hit the headlines. But if you go catch the bum on 2nd Street that was stealing shit every day from Walgreens, CVS, Target, and every other place, more than anything, you're going to have sympathy. Damn, this guy really need to steal shit for their basic needs. So I think there's some things we need to work on as a society and as a group, but I definitely can't wrap my brain around it now at this age. Why, if I made $1.2 million, let's say $600,000 after taxes, that I'll be stealing basic shit.
Yeah.
I can't. It ain't even, to me, it ain't no excitement or thrill from that. Yeah, I've stolen goddamn bikes, but them was bikes and they were fun. I was riding them shit.
You also returned them.
And I was returning them, and I actually started a whole industry. Because that's real.
You were a visionary.
There's fucking electric bikes every fucking where that you borrow, and you pay a little bit of money and they go everywhere. You fucking borrow shit right now. You're paying to borrow shit. Other people cars, Lyft, all kind of shit. Yeah. We're borrowing shit all the time. Yep. believer in sharing shit.
Yeah. I mean, every time you use a delivery service, you are borrowing someone's time and car to get you to run an errand for you.
I'm
essentially.
not okay in theft. Because I still don't like a thief. They took my motherfucking tools.
They took your tools.
My motherfucking tools. God damn it, that was
Not to make light of it, it's in no way funny.
They bust my back window and took all my shit. That's some real shit. So yeah, I'm kind of mad. I'm looking at it from both sides of the fence. But in the grand scheme of shit, it's petty. To me, it wasn't like cool. If this motherfucker was like stealing, because like let's be real, there's people who hack shit for a living and they're literally stealing shit. And when they get caught, they get motherfucking jobs. Yeah, they get like they on house arrest and shit. They ain't got no freedom, but they're literally made to work for the government, doing exactly what they do. So let's not act like people ain't stealing out here.
Right.
We have
and that it's not condoned on some level, especially if it can,
and it's conditional.
Yeah, if it can benefit me for my greater agenda or for what I'm really, really planning, then let it happen.
Because I feel like if a bigger player was stealing some shit from Target, Target would have wanted to partner with this guy. Because it would have brought more attention to Target.
You really?
Yes,
really?
I think if one of these fucking big basketball players was stealing some fucking body wash.
No way, bro.
They'd be like, you really like that body wash? Okay, look, let's not snitch on you, but we need you to endorse this shit.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like they would have blackmailed the motherfucker
I
since
see
threw
what
his
you're
whole
saying.
career away.
So what you're saying, and let me just make sure because initially I was thinking like they were gonna like press charges and be like, oh well, you know what, let's maybe not do it. But that's what you're saying. But it never comes to the light that anything was stolen from this person. They literally call us a private meeting, and they say, hey, we've got you on camera, 7 different instances stealing pet toys and candles and blah 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 blah. In a normal situation like this, we'd be looking to
prosecute your
ass to the full extent of the law. But let's make it a win-win for everyone.
What's in it for me?
This could be the start of something really, really fruitful for both parties. And okay, I see what you're saying.
Because a lot of times, most of us are just doing shit because we're avoiding the consequences of it. It's not because we're righteous people, not because we're good-hearted. I mean, there are those people out there, but a lot of people just try not to get caught.
Yeah,
not trying to get bad consequences and shit.
Right.
I don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to work, but I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be homeless. And I'm not out here stealing because I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can get away with it, I probably would do it.
Yeah.
So it's like...
It's more deterrence than there are carrots.
Yeah, and I don't think they necessarily, like... Target like, we believe in this law and we just stopping criminals. If they could have benefited from this shit, they would have used that shit. I do not think Target is a victim. That's why I say, like, no, Target have been like, hey, KD, I want to go ahead and get these body washes cracking real quick. We got this Target brand. What's the Target brand it's called? That good and gather and shit. All them weird ass Target brands and shit. They said, okay, we know you still in the good shit, but we're gonna have you fucking endorse this shit so we can keep this shit under the wraps. We ain't gonna tell nobody that you up here stealing shit. But you gonna say, I love this body wash to bring these fucking customers in.
This shit lather like no other.
They all about the money, so I don't really give a fuck. I don't know why they really went after fucking Robbin Ryan, other than he just being stupid. But it's an unfortunate situation that it came out like that.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, like he was waived immediately upon accusations. Not even a confirmation, bro. Like he was waived immediately, and I think
this is bad for business.
This is bad. Yeah, we gotta let you go. They just let them.
And they just
opened the door and pushed him out the car and closed that shit.
We don't know what my man was going through. We don't know what my man could have been going through.
They was just like, yeah, sorry.
Because I feel like anybody else would have like elicited sympathy.
Yeah.
Like a bum stealing stuff. Well, what's going on? You want to hear the story? I lost my job. I'm really just trying. I'm just stealing body wash. I won't smell weird. Thing was like, brother, you make millions of dollars. Get out. Like, get out.
Here's the other thing too, though. I think this also speaks to a little bit of a double standard with the league in general, right? And really this is sports. If you can impact on the court, they'll tolerate a lot more shit, right? We've talked ad nauseum about Draymond Green. That's episode 2, and like, not that he's done anything illegal, obviously, but let's do a thought exercise. If someone like Draymond Green, if these allegations did come out, let's say Target didn't want to use it as an opportunity to partner, they wanted to use it as an opportunity to be in the news, and try to victimize themselves in some way, but also try to make an example out of a polarizing player, a polarizing figure. And it was Draymond Green. Do you think he's immediately cut or waived by the Golden State Warriors?
Nope.
Not at all. And the reason is because he is considered a pivotal and important and cornerstone player for the franchise that he works for. So I think this, again, speaks to this, like, you're young in your career. You're still trying to figure out where you are in the pecking order. And he was literally on the lowest rung. Like, the lowest rung.
He must have already out the door.
And you can't be doing dumb shit when you're on the lowest rung. And so this is a lesson that he's going to have to learn, unfortunately, the hard way.
Yeah. I think he already learned it. Like, but don't get me wrong. When it comes to criminality, it's just, unfortunately, he's one of the, like, lower ends of it. Because there was another player, I think him and his girl got, like, arrested for, like, murder or some shit this year. It's been some wild. 2024 has been a wild ass. There have been some
wild shit going on. But there have been some weird NBA stories like that. There's been some interesting,
and I just criminality chuck stories. It all into this weirdness of 2024. Like, at this point, I'm not surprised that the guy got caught stealing some shit from Target, because 2024 got a lot of wild shit going on. So just add it to all the wild shit that's going on. Just this one, you can give it a little bit of levity and a little bit of lightheartedness of it. Even though I'm pretty sure the guy who's going through it, this shit is probably like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, but again, this is an unforced error. This right, like this. We talked about this in the Ja Morant episode.
He brought this upon himself.
This is an unforced error. Like, no one forced him to do this. No one that we know of held him at gunpoint and said, "Hey, bro, we know you out here making over $1 million, but you got to go up. You got to run up in Target and steal." Like he wasn't pledging for a fraternity. He wasn't doing he wasn't doing anything like that. Like, we don't know him to be trying to join a secret society. You know what I'm saying? So like this is an unforced error. You know what I mean? Like, he brought this on himself, so he does have to sit with this. And really all he can do at this point is work his behind off to prove that he is not the person that most people think he is currently.
Yeah, and I don't know if he can, if they let him go that quick. Like, I mean, he can probably go coach, like you say, go overseas. I don't really know, besides going to go buy a bunch of body wash and just take it to Target. I would literally do that shit. Take my last little bit of salary, go buy some body wash and all the items I know I stole, and get that shit back to him. Like, here you guys go. Are we square?
Well, I think this is one. I think you bring up a good point, and I think the thought and where it's come. I think the place that it's coming from is a really good thing to kind of run with, because he does have an opportunity, right? Could he? Because you brought this up earlier. There are people out here who have to steal, and then there are people out here who get to steal, right? And who have the option to steal or to not steal, and they still do it anyway. And so this could be an opportunity for him to say, you know what, Target, like, my bad. I'm all the way out of line, right? Let's figure out a way for me to use the blessings that I've been given to actually impact the community where I was taking from, right? And so here's another small wrinkle in the story. So the Washington Wizards as an organization have been thinking about moving their arena to a different area outside of, like, Washington, D.C. proper. And guess where they were thinking about moving? What community they were thinking about moving to?
Where?
Right across the street from the Target that Robbin Ryan was stealing from. So this is my point. So I know that's like that is like the most, what kind of, like, how faded is this? So he is literally stealing from the community that could have potentially been contributing to his overall success and wealth moving forward.
His fans.
And so,
stealing from his fans.
Exactly. And so this could be an opportunity for him as a first kind of step to kind of turn things around, to go to Target and be like, hey, all right, yeah, I'm out of line. Like, I'm tripping. But let's work together to actually impact the community and see if we can donate, me pay for a bunch of stuff for real this time, and donate it to different shelters or to different populations who actually need
But
it.
is it genuine at that point?
Well,
like he just doing this shit in response to I'm in trouble now.
Well, I think
so. I don't even know if you should do that type of shit.
So this is where
I want to help these people. Y'all ass trying to stay on the damn NBA team now.
But this is where I think the double standard works in his favor because he is such a low profile player. I think it will come off more genuine than if, let's say, this was Draymond Green or LeBron. It would come off more calculated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that, but that's just my take. I could be very, very wrong, and I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. But I think that could be a way that he could flip the narrative on the story and kind of follow this hero's journey, this hero arc of going through some shit and slaying that dragon and turning that dragon into a pet and wielding that dragon for good.
I mean, the real storyline would be if he had to work for Target. That should be great.
But how? There's no way they would hire him, bro. Come on, we know this.
Loss and prevention. He's an expert. He know exactly what these motherfuckers are doing. He know exactly how they get them fucking
hire him as a consultant.
Just like, hey, this is a weak point. This is a weak point where they're gonna get this shit out this Target. I know exactly. This is where I would come out the Target with my shit. Like, that's what you need to try to do. Become a motherfucking consultant.
Consultant, a loss prevention consultant.
If them hackers can do it, if them hackers and them fraudsters can do that shit and get a government job, he better get a Target job. He better do something. He better be a MBA theft loss prevention consultant. That'd be full circle for me. I would love that script.
That would be a full circle moment.
Yeah. He'd be like, man, I took my lemons and made lemonade. Like, yeah, I lost my multi-million-dollar job. Yeah.
But now I'm making $80,000 a year as a consultant.
I'm still making pretty good.
That's good money.
That's
not good. That's not bad money.
Man, now I got a long-term career. I ain't fucking my knees up. My back gonna be all right. I do what I love, which is stealing shit. Like, this would be great for him, bro. I would love it. Just to see it full circle that he can spin this and it be authentic. Cause I don't want this motherfucker out here fucking like giving like. Of course, I want us all to give to the poor, but I want it to come from our heart, not because I'm just trying to get out of some shit. And I feel like that's what it would be. Yeah. I hate that kind of charity, like that philanthropy shit. No, be a real Mother Teresa. Like, this is what you get down and do. So if that ain't what you get down, your ass is a thief. I ain't gonna believe you ass is actually out here giving shit. Nah, I'm not gonna believe that shit for a second. I hope Target wouldn't believe that shit. Get out of here with this offer. Get out of here with this shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit about some let me come help. No, what are you gonna do now? What can you do that you good at? You good at stealing? Come tell us how to stop the next thief.
How to stop the next Robbin Ryan.
What are we not doing right that you got away this motherfucker many times?
That's fair, bruh.
How can we prevent this from moving forward?
That's fair. So
that's my take.
All right, I'm with that. Okay, Ayati, any final thoughts before we close out this episode today?
I did enough talking to this jacket. I need to just cool the fuck off. We can end this episode, brother.
All right, that's a bit.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all go out there and like, subscribe, share, comment, follow, do all the things that will allow us to engage with you as we build this community. We really appreciate you all watching and listening. And yeah, like we always say when we close out each episode, Ayati,
stay casual.